Alright guys, this is so I drove from Kentucky. I was driving from Kentucky to Mississippi on a longer road trip. It was actually Kentucky to Louisiana, but I decided to listen to all of Jay-Z's 300 songs. I've never done it before, although I do listen to Jay-Z a lot, but this was the song, it's called Beach Chair, that made me think about taking a year, and next year, 2019, I tend to challenge myself like on a yearly basis, taking 2019 and only listening to Jay-Z. He mentions leaving a blueprint for his daughter, and in my head, it's not just a blueprint for her, it's a blueprint for everybody, because if you leave something for one person, it's for everybody to access. And so I was thinking, like, what is Jay-Z's blueprint? He has a few different albums. He has 3 albums called The Blueprint. There's like Blueprint, and then there's Blueprint 2.1, and then there's like Blueprint 3. So this is the song that kind of made me want to challenge myself next year, just so I can decode Jay-Z's blueprint that he's leaving for his daughter, but it's not really just for her, like I said. Alright? So that's the inspiration behind this. Plus, this song comes from the album Kingdom Come, and in his in 444, he talks about the song Family Feud. He mentions, like, I told my wife this spiritual shit really works, and so he definitely gives little clues to things. Plus, he is well, let's just get into it. All right. Some of the lyrics I have not been able to decode yet, so it'll just be what I think. Life is but a dream to me. I don't want to wake up. 30 odd years been about having my cake up. So I'm about my paper 24/7, 365, 366 in a leap year. But basically it's about pleasure. He doesn't want to wake up and just his life has been about pleasure, okay? So that's why he's about money. I don't know if if you look at all of Jay-Z's decisions, he bases them all off of money. Like, will this make me money? Yes or no? How can I get the most money? That's why he started his record label. The other reason why he started his record label was because he couldn't get a record deal. But that's what he's about, because at the end of life, if you just live for pleasure, you basically live for nothing. Life is but a beach chair. Chair. Went from having shabby clothes to crossing over Abbey Road. So life is but a beach chair. What that means is, like, your physical body is just a mode of experiencing and witnessing things. When you sit on a beach chair and you watch the beach, you're just observing, like, the sunset, or you're observing the waves, or you're observing the nature around you. Your perspective from a beach chair is the one of the observer. Went from having shabby clothes to crossing over Abbey Road. So basically he went from rags to riches. Hear my angel singing to me, are you happy, Hov? Hov is obviously one of the names that he calls himself. It's like God. I just hope I'm hearing right. Karma's got me fearing like. Kalik, are you praying for me? Karma is the law of cause and effect. That's all that karma is. But he's afraid of it. Kalik is, I think, either his nephew who died, or one of his other family members who's like up in heaven, basically watching over him. I think he sees Kalik as one of his guardians, or one of his guides. See, I got demons in my past, so I got daughters on the way. His demons are everything that he experienced growing up. Jay-Z had a rough life. He basically every day was surviving. He probably did some really bad things. He sold crack, he sold cocaine, he shot his brother, he did some bad stuff. And so that's why he has karma fearing. Demons on the past got daughters on the way. If the prophecy is correct, that the child shall have to pay. So we pay for the sins of our parents. When we're held in the womb of our mothers, we basically have to deal with everything she has dealt with that she didn't clean up from her past. And her past isn't just her past, it's her mother's past, it's her mother's mother's past, it goes past 7 generations. That's why when we heal ourselves, we heal 7 generations behind us and 7 generations ahead of us. So let's say Jay-Z had to deal with like fear of money, fear of like all of his fears that he had to deal with, all of his things that he'd overcome. Maybe it's, and I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I'm sure it tells a story in his music, which is why I want to study it next year. But poverty, violence, not having a father, and I'm sure that if you went back through all of his generations, you would see these patterns. They're generational patterns. This is what he means by, if the prophecy is correct, that the child should have to pay. Because maybe if he doesn't clean up his own past, his daughter will marry somebody who leaves, like we all know that his father left when he was younger. Maybe she'll marry somebody who leaves her and her children to fend for themselves. This is what we mean by karma. Okay? For the sins of her father, so I barter my tomorrows against my yesterdays and hope that she'll be okay. He's basically like trying his best to clean up before she gets here in hopes that she'll not have to relive the things that he had to or that his mother had to. And when I'm no longer here to shade her face from the glare, I give up my share of Carol's daughter and a new beach chair. So basically when he's dead and he can't protect her anymore, he basically leaves her the shares. Carol's daughter is like a hair product company, and a new beach chair. The beach chair, of course, is the metaphor for this like viewpoint in life, this observation viewpoint. Okay, so that's the end of verse 1. We're gonna go into the chorus now.
I got my swagger back. Mama, they said I killed the man. Well, I guess I got the dagger back.